Well, good morning. Welcome back to Veteran Revivals. I'm Art, your veteran idiot. This is Earl. We're not really doing anything with Earl. I know in the last couple episodes we had done the high compression heads and stuff like that, and then in the last episode we found out we went super lean, and I think it had a lot to do with this. This guy right here, heavy, and when I took it off, a whole bunch of rust dumped out of it. So we took this tank out of that old motorhome, and so there was a surface rust around the inside of it. I cleaned out as much as I possibly could and got where I could see, but obviously some of that gets through. Made it through the pickup screen and into that filter, and then when we were playing hard with it, it packed up nice and tight, nice and full of nice fine rust. And so I'm hoping that was the issue. I also cleaned up the connector on the fuel pump and tightened down the clips, so that should be good as well. And I think our lean problem is gone. We're not going to do a 0 to 60 on this. A little worried to do that all over again. But today we got something else going on you guys might appreciate. This poor guy has been sitting for a long time. There we go. Mostly because, oh, there's that hat. Mostly because this C6 down here is completely fused, all the clutch plates, and the valve body is all screwed up, and it just doesn't do anything but go forward, no matter what position you put the lever in. So we got something to fix that. And for those of you that don't know about this Bronco, man, this was all clean. It was all really nice and clean. Needs a good spray off. Anywho, this is our 468. It was a 460 we bored over, 40 over, and put together to go into this Bronco. I never got a chance to take it out and drive it. It's got a Holley Terminator X 40-pound injectors, and we turned the cams straight up. That's about the end of everything we did with this. We did some F3 heads, and then we did some sealed power flat top pistons. So it should be a pretty nasty truck, and from the handful of times that we started it, moved it, it's pretty rowdy. So now we got a transmission for this thing. I know, right? ZF5 5-speed for the 460 four-wheel drive, the unicorn. They just almost don't exist anywhere where somebody wants to sell them. So we found one, but there's a catch. It's in here. So I don't know much of anything about this truck other than one of our buddies went and picked it up. It supposedly got a 460 in it with a ZF5 four-wheel drive, and that's what we've been looking for. It is, like I said, a unicorn to try and find. But what would you guys rather have? Crew cab OBS? Crew cab square body? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious what has the larger following. Crew cab square body, crew cab OBS Ford. They're both long beds, both four-wheel drive. This one has a 4.3 V6. What? This one has a maybe functional 460. They said the fuel pump is bad. That's why it doesn't run. And they sent a video of it driving-ish. It went forward like 10 feet, and that's the end of the video. Well, I guess let's see what's inside of it. If it's worth trying to fix up after we snag the transmission out of here. It was in Texas at some point, last registered in 2013. 350 XL, has it got the straight axle? Oh shoot. Okay. Pretty sure all the 350s had a straight axle, but you never know these days. Bed clearly did not come with this truck. It's got a hole for a gooseneck, but this frame does not support a gooseneck. Dual tanks, judging by the melted rollover valve there, this one is probably not functional. And Got the 70 in there. Looks like a 70 anyways. Bald tires. Well, there's a good one over there. Oh, this door is unhappy. You can see the crash bar on the inside. Unhappy. Let's see what's inside. The door doesn't open. Cool. Oh boy. I like the door handle full of dead bugs. Looks like flying ants. Whole bunch, all the turn signal stuff is gone. The ignition stuff is gone. Do have a title for this, so it wasn't stolen. It is a 5-speed overdrive. That points in the right direction. Ooh, some 24-pound injectors just chilling down in there. Those are probably not functional. Radio got snagged out. That's a bummer. Well, the DIN chassis down there. Oh boy, what year is this thing? I guess it's not in too bad. Well, it's not in too bad a shape. It's not in too good of shape either. Headliner is headlinering. Maybe just a good wipe down and it'll be good to go. Fuel filter sitting on the floor back there. Some Autolite 45s. All right. What year is this thing? Looks like 94. Okay, 94. Let's pop the hood if we can. Hold on, I need 2 hands for this. Martha, fuck. I think it popped. I think so. I can't quite tell. There's a lot of wires hanging underneath that are going to nothing. Let's see if the hood actually popped. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, good. Yeah. We need this for the Bronco, so we'll go ahead and snag that off. And this air box will come out of there, maybe. We'll snag that out too. It's going with us. All right. Yeah. New coil, new distributor, new wires, the new plugs we saw inside. There's some broken vacuum lines all over the place, which probably didn't help with them trying to run it. Looks like new injectors. Okay. All right. I see you. They were really trying to figure it out. More broken vacuum lines over there. Yeah. Sweet. Ooh, some wire nuts on the alternator. That's cool. They don't go anywhere. No, they do. Ooh, and some of the wire is exposed. That's nice. Dual battery trays? No, just one. Okay. All right. I see you. More broken vacuum lines to the canister. All right. Okay. Oh, the smog pump. Well, I mean, that all looks pretty good-ish. Master cylinder looks all right. Let's take a look underneath, see what that transmission looks like. All right. Some good old spider webs. Everybody needs those. Yeah, cool. No front drive shaft. No bueno. That is not a good sign. We'll probably swap this transfer case anyways because it has a slip yoke style drive shaft for the rear, which we're not going to use on the Bronco. Let's see. I gotta scrape out some of these spider webs. They're all up in my face. All right, what we got? There's some more plugs unplugged up there. That's neat. I don't know what that goes to at all, not even the slightest. Front axle looks decent-ish. It has these giant dual piston calipers on this thing that were the same from like the 70s. They're just massively massive, and it looks like there is 0 pad left on that guy. It's just straight metal on metal. All right, let's see. Well, it's one less drive shaft we gotta get out of here. Let's go ahead and disconnect the rear drive shaft after we chock the wheels and slide that guy out of the transfer case. Question is, do we take the transfer case off first or drop the whole thing out? Luckily this transmission has a drain on it, but probably end up just pulling the transfer case off and throwing it in the bed of the truck. We'll drain this transmission. Yeah. Then it's just a matter of disconnecting the slave cylinder. What do we got here? What's that guy? Oh, that's the shifter. And no. What is that? Oh, it's the four-wheel drive. Okay. Slave cylinder up there, we'll disconnect. It looks like the plunger is pushed out of it. That's neat. We'll figure that out. And yeah, looks like they put a braided line on it. Is that an upgraded line? We may steal that guy, or is that factory? Somebody let me know. Anywho, we got a lot of work to do, and it's pretty greasy under here. So we might as well get started. I'm gonna try and get this thing out of here today and get it back to the house, and then we'll figure out how to get the Bronco to a position where we can start stealing that C6 out of it and slap this guy back in there. And we already swapped out the automatic column, so now it's going to have an automatic shifter and a regular shifter, but we can push the pin out for the automatic steering column and just leave that in there. There's a mosquito flying around under here. Sweet. That's neat. That's exactly what I was hoping for. But ooh, that's also neat. They pinched off the tube for the smog pump, and it has no muffler at all. Just this guy. Cool. Fuel filter. It's new. It's sloshing around. Oh, they put a new fill tube on the back tank. That's also neat. I think this guy would be a lot of work to get going. Oh, these freaking mosquitoes, dude. We need the first freeze to come quick and get rid of all these flying things flying around in here. They need to go away quick, like yesterday, maybe even like 2 weeks ago. Cool. Neat. All right, let's get started. I'm already regretting this. Pulled the drain plug out of the transfer case here to drain some fluid out of it, and nothing's gonna be draining out of here because it is literal sludge. It's not even fluid anymore, it's just sludge, and it won't come out. I can't get any of it out. That is not a good sign. We'll see what comes out of the transmission, but that is definitely not a good sign. I would assume this thing was probably underwater at some point, maybe? Not good, not good. So what I did not want to do is have to pull this out of here. Maybe we can drop it down more, get it away from that. Nope, it's hanging on it. Sweet. Sweet. How much of it is sticking up through there? All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I misjudged how tall that shifter was, so I took the whole plate off the top, pulled out the pivot. Now we should be good to drag this thing out of here. Ooh. Bam. Oh, oh. And she's out. Hopefully none of this crap dropped down in there. And if it did, it's just on top and we can clean it out. Hey. I think that was neutral or reverse or something, I don't know. It's slowly coming down on the jack. That wasn't so bad. I can already tell you this thing is going to be a nightmare to get back in that Bronco in the dirt. Nightmare. Promise. Guaranteed. Might put that back on just to cover that. I think that's exactly what I'll do. Just put it right back on here. Cover that up. Keep crap from getting inside. Whew. Yeah. Pressure plate looks brand new. We'll steal the pressure plate, the backing plate, flywheel, and the clutch out of this thing as well. And then we are gone. We'll take this all home, see what we can do there. It's actually not too bad. A little bit heavier than a T5. Ooh. So my life flashed before my eyes. Whew. Slowest pump ever. I suppose it's easier to use with this.
5 minutes later.
Like a glove. All right, back on this guy. Got some hot spots on it, but it is brand new. Sweet. Flywheel looks hella hot spotted. I don't feel anything. Might be able to just scuff it up. We'll see how much one of them costs and go that route. Alright, that's it. Rear main's bad on that, FYI. Let's get out of here. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, come on. Come on. Alright. Later, nerd.
Don't stop me now if you wanna have a good time.
Alright, we're on the way home, but first we're gonna stop and swing in and get some of the finest Mexican food in town.
We're gonna get started.
Can I get that number 7 with a Baja Blast and a soft taco? And a cheesy gordita crunch on the side.
1839 at the second window.
Thank you.
Stop me now, a good time. Stop, yes.
I know how to speak horse. Right now he's telling me to get off my ass and go feed him. But what he doesn't know is that I want to eat just as badly as he does. Now he looks sad. I'm gonna go feed them. And then when we're done eating, we'll drag that thing back. Might try and get it up on the pavement. Probably not. It's probably gonna be an all day on my back in the dirt type of thing. It's not like I'm not used to being on my back in the dirt. Forget I said that. All right, I'm coming. Now comes the fun of pulling out this C6. So we'll do the same thing as we did on the last one. We'll pull the drive shaft, then we'll pull the transfer case and drop that out. And then lucky for us, I never covered up this transmission tunnel, so we'll be able to get to the bolts for that pretty easily. The headers might be an issue. Should probably have to pull those headers off first, which that kind of sucks, I guess. Is what it is. So we'll go ahead and pull those and drop them out the bottom. Hopefully they still work with this transmission. These headers are for a C6. I guess if they don't work, we'll put them somewhere else that has a 460 and a C6. That guy back there got it. Okay, guess there's no time like the present to do this since the time is disappearing over the hill. Got a nice little sunset. Cold beer. C6 is out. Went about as well as I could hope for. Dumped all the transmission fluid into my gravel. That's neat. That's okay though. It's out. It's out. It's gonna stay out. It is literally a giant paperweight. So it's gonna stay over there. Maybe somebody will buy it on Facebook Marketplace as a core. I don't know. Junk. Not gonna rebuild it. But that's all I'm gonna do for tonight, because I can't see nothing underneath this thing, even with the light. Plus I need to take that thing off of the bed of the truck. So we'll do that tomorrow. I'll see you then. Oh, good morning. Welcome back. This thing is bled all over the ground over here. That's okay. We're ready to throw in some parts. I went and picked up a new clutch kit and some fluid for it because it's out and I could feel some ripples. Well, you can actually see them from here. I don't know if you guys can tell on the camera there. There's a little bit of ripples on the left side of that pressure plate where somebody heated it up super hot. Anywho, we're ready to take this transmission off. I'm going to spray it off first, and then we will get it up in there with the best of our abilities. This morning my arms were so sore. I felt like I had done 700 push-ups, but we're ready to get this thing driving. And hopefully the headers fit on. If the headers don't fit, we won't be driving it today. But if the headers do fit, maybe we'll go around the block or something, you know, some kind of fun something. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got a lot of work to do today and not a whole lot of time because it's already almost noon. Well, I took the liberty of going ahead and getting started. So clutch is installed, flywheel's on, backing plate, all that business. It's all ready to go for the transmission to come up here and slide right in.
No chance.
So I'm excited about that. And the mosquitoes aren't too bad right now. I'm sure they'll be picking up in a little bit. But let's go ahead and start working our transmission up in here and see if I can't blow out a pec muscle or something. We'll try to lift this up in here. We'll use the jack, don't worry. But still, it's a lot of maneuvering, even with the jack. Yeah, girl. Let's see how we can do this. Don't scratch the truck. Oh my god, it's so much lighter than that thing. Okay. Get another. Go on. Go on. Well, okay. To get her closer. How do we get her closer? That's the question. Gotta go about a foot. That. Gonna do that, you know. All right. Oh. Let's go up from here, huh? How does that sound, guys? Huh? You like that? Let's see if we can get it to fall on us. I can't jack it up. I'm too weak. This sucks. I knew it was gonna be difficult. Alright. And in the center point on this guy is interesting. Oh girl. Gee, might have to use a leg or two. Ooh, don't fall on me. Running into a bit of a conundrum. I can see through here, the input shaft is not past the teeth yet. We're hitting floor there. I don't know how we're gonna tip in. Might have to come down, tip up, get the nose in, and then start moving up. I think that's where we're at with this. How do I live without you? I want to know. All right, so took the front of the engine, lifted it up, dipped the back, and now we're getting in there. I think just got to come down just a little bit. I think we're pretty close to right on in there. However long it looks like it's taking on the camera, I promise you, it's taking way longer than that. All right, I think I need to put the shifter on the top here and put it first gear so I can rotate it in. I think we're hung up on the splines of the clutch. We're at a pretty good angle here. Take the strap off the front of the engine, go from there. Well, we're about 3/4 of the day through. It is in. I got it up in there and I can't even begin to express how difficult it was with just myself getting it up in there. But it's in, it's stabbed, bolted up. You'd be shocked to know that the headers work. I really need to spray down this engine bay, but headers are in, bolted up. They clear perfectly on both sides. All that is put back together. Let me show you what we got underneath. Actually, before we go underneath, here's inside. It is tight fit. Might have to modify the shifter. I don't know, we gotta bolt it up first and see how it goes. It is, we might have to modify a bunch of things. We'll see what it comes out to be, but I'll get that cover set back on there and we'll see what that looks like. So firstly, you can see the headers. They fit beautifully. No issues at all. Goes right around the slave cylinder. So the things I will have to change is that these bolt holes won't line up for the cross member because this transmission is just a little bit longer. And so I swapped out the C6 motor or transmission mount, put it on here, because the one that came in the F350 is too tall and it's too wide in this lower portion of the studs. So this cross member I'm gonna have to re-drill and put back in its place. Reused the 205, works perfectly, bolted right up to the lever. Reused the factory drive shaft, that was a nice one, and I'm sure that front drive shaft is going to be the same. I just haven't swapped that one out yet, or put that one back in because I got to swap out the U-joints. So all that is in, and it needs some fluid and needs a couple more bolts here and there, but I'm done for today. And I just want to fire it up because I just want to hear it run. It has been a long time since I've heard it run, and it'd be nice to fire it up and listen to it for a minute before I pass out after taking about 40 grams of Tylenol. Threw the intake tube on. I know it needs a filter on that end, but I got to get the box. That box in the other truck was all crushed. So without further ado, let's see what we can mess up and listen to this thing run. Yeah, we're gonna have to modify that pan just a little bit. That's okay. Make sure she's in neutralis and give her a zing. That's nice. Power steering pump's whining. Look at this alternator belt, super loose. Well, this has been fun. Really, actually, really glad we finally found that ZF5 transmission and found a truck that had everything we needed to get it out of there and get it in here. The four-wheel drive ZF5 for a 460, like I said, is extremely hard to find unless you go and buy one that's been remanufactured. And even then it was hard to find somebody that even did it. So I'm really glad that we finally got this on here. And we will, oh yeah, that power steering one's pretty loose. We will have lots of fun getting this thing out on the road in the next episode. Listen, guys, I am beat. I am absolutely beat. And I'm going to need some time to rest. I gotta throw some more oil in the transmission, ATF, Mercon 5, in case you were wondering, Merc 5. Anywho, and then we are going to add some of the missing bolts that are in the bell housing and the transfer case. We'll change out the U-joints for the drive shaft, and then we will be able to get this thing out on the road. Oh, I need to go get the slave cylinder from the other truck. Not necessarily the slave cylinder, but the clip that holds the slave cylinder on the side. Well, I'll grab all of that, and then we will be able to take it out on the street and finally do some tuning on this 468. Thank you guys for all sticking around, watching me swap this thing out. Sorry I cut out a bunch, but it was just, you might have cried. I might have got a Grammy. It was that dramatic. Anyways, make sure you check out the merchandise. Links down in the description. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. As always, have fun.